Hey everybody, this is Steve Kodad. Welcome to another tip on using feng shui for real estate success. Today's topic is color psychology. One of the reasons why I really got interested in feng shui in the first place. I was a certified home stager long before I got into feng shui 14, 15 years ago. But I knew that color had an awful lot to do with the reaction of potential home buyers. So anyway, color is a big thing in feng shui. So why does color matter? Well, it attracts attention like nothing else. And if you use it correctly, you're going to get that attention. In feng shui, I not only want to get a human being's attention, I also want to attract energy into the house. So it has a double meaning for me. Color can impact you physically. It's really amazing what it actually does in that situation. It's one of the first things you notice when you walk into a room, really. And it can either turn you on or turn you off very quickly. And you don't want those quick reactions sometimes by your home buyer. It sets a mood. And again, that mood can be good or not so good. And one thing I do want to get into a little bit in this very short video is that color is seen very differently from culture to culture. And if you have a particular ethnic group or country that invests heavily in your area, you might want to at least look into that heavily. Now, warm colors are yang, okay? And they are advancing and exciting people. So they're great for social rooms. So if you want to use particular colors that work there, whereas yin colors, these are colors that actually recede in lower energy. And I promise you that your buyers are really expecting to see more of that in a bedroom or a bathroom than something real bright. For example, even in a bathroom, can you imagine painting the whole bathroom red? I hope you can. But in using yin colors, you definitely could see it being some dark beiges or some blues or greens. Let's take a color that is somewhat controversial, pink. All right, and I want to sort of get into the psychology of how pink is being used and how it does have a large effect on our psyche. Prisons in Switzerland have been painting their cells actually pink in an attempt to calm down the inmates. And they even have a name for it. They call it cool down pink. They found out that anger levels are reduced pretty quickly in as little as 15 minutes when somebody is confined in a room like this for a couple of hours. You can imagine what this guard is thinking. You know, here's a room where I guess if you show an awful lot of anger, you're going to be put in there for a while. This guy definitely is not having a good time. Now, even quite often they've gotten to the point where they're putting these particular types of outfits on prisoners. And again, it seems to have a calming effect. Color is really affecting you physically and mentally. Now, we're only going to do a few colors, but I want to show you a little bit about how they actually interact with different countries and different groups. But red is a very emotional, intense color. I love using it to sell. It helps a great deal with my photos, the MLS photos, flyers, but I make sure that I only use it more as an accessory because it overshadows other colors. I use it as an accent. So I'm never going to paint a room like you see over there to the left, all red. That's never going to happen. It's too much. It does draw the eye. So it's great to use in particular smaller amounts to draw attention. And again, we want attention at all times. We want to draw attention to some of the more positive aspects of a house. But boy, if you use them correctly in your photos, you'll find out it really helps for people to want to see your house more often. Now in China, It's really popular, very popular. They use it for a lot of things. In South Africa, it's the complete opposite. So again, depending on where your buyers come from, it'll be different. Now check these out. In the East, it has some good things for sure. Europe, it's like pretty much. West has a lot of good things about it too, love, passion. So again, keep in mind that there's some real psychological effects to some of these colors. And again, if you're working with people from, for example, South Africa or certain other countries that red is not considered real positive, you might want to consider that. Yellow, okay? Warm and vibrant. But people lose their tempers more often in yellow rooms. It's a great color for focusing. I'm sure you remember those yellow writing pads. They were used that way because they do help with focus an awful lot. But they found out that babies actually cry more in yellow rooms. So be careful with it. I never use bright yellow. If I'm painting walls, I use a lot lighter shade. In China, yellow has got some mixed meanings. One of them is pretty weird, isn't it? Pornography. In the Middle East, they think of it very positively. Japan, bravery, wealth. Europe, joy, but also cowardice. And in the West, it's got cowardice also, but it's also a cheery, warm color. Again, you want to be a little careful. Green, one of my favorite colors. It works in a lot of places. It's very, very popular in almost all countries. It's tranquil, refreshing. It's the most restful color on a person's eye. So it's a good one to use. And of course, there are multiple shades of it. I hardly ever use forest green. It's a little too dark for me, but I do use a lot of other shades. I like sage greens, for example. In China, new beginnings, fertility, health, prosperity. Japan sees this same way. Middle East, okay, pretty much the same thing. In Europe, though, it's a little different. In the West, okay, it has a meaning for money, lucky, nature, but it, for the most part, is a color that can be very, very flexible and used in a lot of places. I use that in a lot of bedrooms. Check this particular picture out. You don't want extremes, okay? Can you imagine taking away all the red objects, including the flowers? So color can really help greatly to draw attention to each room's best benefits, and certainly into your photos. So highly keep it in mind how important color is. You can see how much the red stands out. Check these companies out. These companies have gotten strong and successful for a lot of reasons. One of them is, of course, their logo, but their colors that they use in their logos. For example, how about Coca-Cola? They're using more of a red. It represents more of excitement, okay? That's one of the reasons why they use it. They want that to come off. Or how about Lowe's? They want you to trust them. So again, colors have a big effect on a person's psyche and can really help them make a decision. So that's my tip for the day. I hope you can definitely see that feng shui is a very powerful and transforming kind of thing. It really can change how things are looked at. So I hope the cheese stays with you, and I'll see you next time.